Um, so yeah, let's give it a go. Let's give it a minute. I could probably tell them about Ulric, seeing as I had to step into his shoes for a bit. So hi, twin update. Um, so I had the fortune and privilege of uh, being casted to play the role of Ulric Cross in the film Hero, and in which we actually touched on what we're going to read about tonight in the comic book. Ulrich was a maverick. Ulrich was the most decorated West Indian at the end of World War II, working with the British, and went on to do so many things with his life, like becoming a lawyer and working in Africa, helping to draft the constitutions for those nations that were becoming independent at the time. So he's a real world-class Trinidad and Tobago hero. And tonight we're going to read about him. We're going to read a story from his life, from his war years. And yeah, we hope everybody's going to have a good time and we're just going to enjoy it. Perhaps, I don't know, should we start, Moriah?
Yes, I think it's about time we have that.
Sweet. Cool. Yeah. Okay, well, welcome back everyone to Read2Me TT Bedtime Series. Hope you all are ready for another fun bedtime story. My name is Nickolai Salcedo, and I'm a actor, musician, and artist.
And my name is Moriah Chong, and I go to Ghana Secondary School. I am the Form 4 student.
Okay, kids, so these past few weeks have had us inside, but you've all been heroes in your own ways by staying inside and washing your hands. So tonight we have an exciting story about how Justice Ulric Cross put his life on the line for Trinidad and Tobago and to protect the world's freedom. We are going to take a journey with him on a flight and crash landing during World War II, as I said before. And I hope that this story is going to change your world perspective forever.
Okay, so this book was published by the Heroes Foundation, written and illustrated by a local team in Trinidad and Tobago. It celebrates Justice Ulric Cross, who was the chairman of the first advisory board of the Heroes Foundation. Remember? Okay, so let's get started.
Right. There we go.
In 3. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, you ready? Okay, so in 3, 2, 1. The skies over Hitler's Germany, May 1944. A British mosquito bomber makes its way to its target on a bombing raid amidst heavy flak.
All I'm asking, Cross, is how'd you wind up with a German name like Ulrich?
On board, an unlikely pair have a light conversation in spite of the distracting explosions outside. A Trinidadian twang flavors Ulric's words.
I'll ask when I get home, Jack. If we get home, flak's heavy tonight. I'm the navigator. I'll get us home. Where's home for you anyway? Where are you from? Trinidad, one of the West Indian islands. Start the bombing run. Roger that. Is Trinidad near Jamaica? I hear... My God!
Ulric's bomber rocks violently.
That was too close. Steady, Jack. The target should be in sight. I see it. I see the bridge. Have you got it in your bomb sight? Stand by for bomb release. 3, 2, 1, go!
The whistles of their falling bombs is shortly replaced with the sound of success.
Oh, I love that sound. Did we hit the target, Ulrich? Dead on, Jack. Dead on. Scratched one German bridge. I bet Hitler jolly well felt that in Berlin and brought to him courtesy a Trini Tommy with a Jerry name. Uh-oh. No time for talk, Jack. I think their searchlights have us. Hell's bells! I'll pour on the speed.
Ulrich dons his goggles to fight the searchlight's glare. Although his mind is firmly on the mission, the flashing lights trigger thoughts of his past, of a time in the world that some would say was easier. Yet, for Ulrich, it was anything but. Sorry, it was Ulrich. Ulrich flashes back to his early life in 1920s.
I was born Philip Louis Ulric Cross in Belmont, Trinidad on May 1st, 1917. I loved to read. It was my passion. My thirst for learning enabled me to win a scholarship at the government national exhibition examinations to attend St. Mary's College when I was 11 years old. My future seemed so bright. But when I was 13, my mother died. This was an awful time for me, as it would be for any child. And worse yet, my father left in despair. I then lived with a kind lady who gave shelter to children. It was still very hard for me, however. And later, I failed to win the island scholarship to go to university in England. But I was determined to make something of myself, and England seemed to offer me the best hope for that. Perhaps it was destiny that war broke out. I guess you could say the war was my ticket to England.
A sudden vibration breaks Ulrich's
Nostalgia.
nod, nos- that word tricks me up all the time. Nostalgia and rocks him back to 1944.
Give all you've got, Jack. I can see the flak guns. Keep your head down, Cross, before they get you in their crosshairs. Schneller, Mann, schneller! You strains insist.
The plane's engines groan in complaint as the throttle is yanked back, forcing them into a steep climb. It almost works.
Hang on, Ulrich. I'll try to get above their range. Fire!
Almost. The plane rocks violently with the impact, careening off its ascent, now locked into a deadly descent. Shaking off their initial panic,
Lord Almighty, are we hit?
Ulrich and Jack spring into action.
Right engine on fire. Cut fuel supply to right engine. Hurrah! I'm there for Hitler!
But their downward trajectory remains unchanged.
We're losing altitude, Jack. Pull up! Pull up! I am! If I pulled any harder, I'll rip out the stick.
Although he has flown dozens of bombing missions, Ulrich can sense that this one is different, that it might be his last. In this moment of deadly clarity, his thoughts go back again, this time to his first wartime forays. This time to the early 1940s.
I left Trinidad for England to fight the war in 1941. I joined the Royal Air Force and flew 80 missions over occupied France and Germany. Many of them were daytime raids, flying just 50 feet above the ground. I was awarded the Distinguished Service Order, or DSO, and the Distinguished Flying Cross, or DFC. I reached the rank of squadron leader, roughly equal to that of a major in the army, but I didn't join for rank and glory. One had to do one's duty to stop Hitler and his evil regime. That was my firm belief. I wasn't the only Trinbagonian to join the fight. I lost friends in that great battle for freedom and justice, and many of my countrymen perished before the end of the war came. But I was determined to lead a life in the service of those ideals that we fought and died for.
Ulric's attention snaps back to 1944, a life or death situation. 35,000 feet. Lower, 25,000 feet. And lower, 15,000 feet. The aircraft descends 10,000 feet, with hope dwindling 8,500 feet, until 700 feet. 7,000 feet.
Finally, we've leveled off. Ulric, start plotting a course for home. Already on it, Jack. We'll make it, don't worry.
And true to his word, a short time later,
The English Channel. By God, Ulric, we've almost made it home. Our fuel won't take us to Whiten Base. I'll give you a course for Swanton Morley. It's closer. Roger that, my friend. We might just make it, but I don't like that siren from our engine, Ulric. Better put on your parachute. Oh, ye of little faith. We'll make it. Besides, if we give up on our plane, it might decide to give up on us. Cheers to your spirit, mate. Now give me directions for home.
and Ulric delivers yet again, for moments later, the outline of Swanton Morley appears. Barely. The runway's darkness is foreboding. The crew weighs their odds.
I see the base, but there are no runway lights, Ulric. They didn't know we're coming, and we can't radio them. We just have to chance it.
And make a tough call.
Righto then, Ulric. We're going in.
They come in too high, too fast.
Blast! Ulric, we've overshot our mark. We'll run out of runway. We'll make it, Jack. We'll make it.
Too late. They finally touch down. But can they stop in time? They quickly run out of runway.
We're going to hit those hedges. Brace yourself. There wouldn't be a pillar factory behind those hedges. Even better, Jack. A nice, soft rock quarry.
A sense of humor tries to break the tension. Until
Ulric, this is it! Yes, Jack!
the end of the road. Our heroes fall. And they fall hard. The plane keeps careening forward despite the fall, battling against gravity and friction, until at last it crashes to a grinding halt. A deathly silence fills the cockpit. Until
Oh, we made it.
and we are shown once again
Hell's bells, we made it, Ulric. Ulric? Ulric? Are you all right?
that beating the odds
Yes. We made it, Jack. I just banged my head a bit. I take it you're all right.
is what these heroes do best.
That was a close one. And I have a smashing headache to prove it. But well done getting us home, Ulric. Thanks, Jack. And for your magnificent flying. My head hurts like the dickens too, but at least it lets me know I'm alive.
As our gallant crew celebrate another victory against impossible odds.
I hope the medics reach soon. After this, they owe us a ride to the base. And a double ration of grog for headaches, I'd say. A triple ration for me. We really cheated the Grim Reaper today.
The near-death experience prompts Ulric to reflect on his life.
That we did. And you know, it's making me think. About what? Never flying again? Hardly, Jack. We have to do our all to win this war.
Except this time, thinking about the future.
No, I was thinking about what brought me here and what I want to after the war.
Flash forward almost 70 accomplished years later to 2011, July 27, at the Hilton Trinidad and Conference Center, where sprightly 94-year-old Ulric receives a special award from the Heroes Foundation.
Thank you so much for this, Mr. Chairman. I shall treasure it. Yeah. Thank you all for coming to this ceremony, and my deepest thanks for this award. People often ask me what drove me to achieve my life's accomplishments and how did I do it all? And my answer is simple. Smile for the papers, Justice Cross. It simply had to be done, and one had to do one's duty.
The camera flash from the photographer prompts Ulric to reflect back on those 70 years since the crash. Back to those other times where he felt compelled to do his duty.
After the war, I pursued my legal studies and became a barrister in 1949. Then the independence of Ghana, Africa, in 1957 brought me a new opportunity. The famous George Padmore, whom I knew as a child, spoke of me to Ghana's first independent leader, the great Kwame Nkrumah. This led to my appointment as Crown Counsel and later Senior Crown Counsel for Ghana. I was also a lecturer in criminal law at the University of Ghana. Africa kept me busy in public service for many years. In 1960, I went on to West Cameroon to become their Assistant Attorney General. A year later, I was promoted to Attorney General and a member of the Cabinet. In 1967, I took up the post of High Court Judge in Tanzania. In 1968, I became chairman of the Permanent Labor Tribunal, Tanzania, and member of the East African Industrial Court. Opportunity knocked again, and I had the chance to help establish the Faculty of Law at Tanzania's University of Dar es Salaam, where I was appointed Professor of Law. Then, in 1971, I returned to Trinidad. With my law experience, I was appointed Judge of the High Court and later Judge of the Court of Appeal. After I retired, I was named Chairman of our Law Reform Commission. Then I became Chairman of the Commonwealth Foundation and was also called to serve as High Commissioner to the United Kingdom and simultaneously as Ambassador to Germany and France. How ironic that I should come full circle to represent my country of birth to the country I fought for and to the two countries that I flew bombing missions over.
Ulric comes back to the present and completes his thoughts to the audience.
Although I retired from public service, I never retired from service to the public. I devoted myself to organizations dedicated to charitable work, particularly to such foundations that are involved in learning and education, such as the Heroes Foundation. So I close by thanking again the Foundation for their work with our nation's youth and urge you to always do your best. Bless you all. Thank you.
After the applause subsides and the audience disperses, a shy boy overcomes his inhibitions to satisfy his curiosity.
Justice Cross? Yes, young man. What did you mean by duty? Well, when you see something that is wrong and no one is doing anything about it, then it's your duty to put it right. So I can get awards and be famous like you? No, young man. You never do it for yourself. You do it because someone has to do it. Otherwise, the wrong things just get worse. But why do it if you aren't getting something for it?
Ulric pauses for a moment, then smiles and says those words that he has held true for all of his life.
Because sometimes it simply has to be done.
The cause is just. The need is great. The time has come for heroes.
That's cool.
Okay,
Wow.
well, this has been a story of Ulric Cross. I hope everyone has enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks again for joining us for Read to Me's nightly bedtime series, and hope you all had fun reading with us tonight. We had fun. I had fun. I had a lot of fun doing that.
But before we go, it is really very important that you listen to us. Are you listening? Do you want to be little superheroes? Here is what you can do to help. Wash your hands with soap and sing happy birthday twice, so you will know you've washed it long enough. Keep your hands out of your mouth and remind mommy, daddy, granny, and everybody to wear their mask if they are going out.
Yep. And listen, don't fret. We could do this, right? Why? Because at the end of the day, we're all in this together, right? Thanks for reading with us tonight. And we're going to see you tomorrow evening for another story time session with Read2Me through Heroes Foundation. They're going to be two new readers. Adios.
Bye.